So a little bit of context into this video before we get started. I discovered something on the internet recently called the Thronos, and I've been absolutely obsessing about it. You know how it is when you're a kid, find a gadget that you love and you absolutely dream it, live it, you cut pictures out of a magazine. Yeah, that was basically me. However, I quickly pushed it out of my mind because, let's be honest, this is South Africa and we never get anything that cool. As fate would have it, the heavens opened up, the angels sang down, and Asus South Africa contacted me and said that they have a Thronos on display in Johannesburg and they'd like to fly me down to test it out. Naturally, I accepted. However, two important things are worth mentioning. One, this is a paid for presentation, and two, all opinions expressed in this video are mine and mine alone. I mean, I had a reputable company 3 weeks ago contact me, and basically we're working out a little endorsement, and at the final stages in the contract it said, I think it was rule 5, you may not say bad things about our product. Naturally, I told them that they can go and Flintstones themselves. I used a different F word. All opinions expressed are from here and not from here. Now that we have that out of the way, airport. Bye. So after landing, I went to go drop my bag at the guest house. I hopped in an Uber and rushed to the event. The event was held at the Maverick Gaming Center in Johannesburg. I signed in, got my tag, and then I went to go put my stuff down. It was a small event for about 50 people, tech people, media people. There was awesome food, drinks aplenty, and a bunch of gadgets and gizmos on display. You know, Predator laptops, VR stuff. But I wasn't there for that. I had a meeting with my beloved Thronos and I did not intend on being late. And there she was. This massive monster of a gaming throne in all of its glory. I was taken aback when I saw it for the first time. This massive black scorpion tail holding these 3 enormous displays completely dominated the room. It had RGB lighting built into the entire design, giving it this futuristic Tron look. Attached to the scorpion tail were 3 27-inch curved Predator Z27-1U monitors. 144Hz G-Sync naturally. I mean, one of these screens alone are massive, but seeing 3 of them side by side, it was almost comical. Powering this beast was a Predator Orion 9000. These warheads are the absolute top of the food chain and heavily customizable when you pick them up at Asus. I actually did some research on this case prior to the event, and its design is actually quite brilliant. It uses clever tricks to get the cold air in and the hot air out using some sort of smart tunneling system. This particular test unit was equipped with an 8th generation i7, 64 gigs of DDR3 RAM, and enough storage to never have to check your remaining space ever again. Powering the screens are twin GTX 1080 Ti's achieving an almost offensive resolution of 7680 by 1440. But of course, this is the setup that was just on display. If you had deeper pockets and you were feeling particularly Tony Starkish, you could always ask Asus to pop in an i9 CPU and a quick set of RTX 2080 Ti's, should you choose. Asus, Benny and Sizwe gave us a demo of how the motorized structure functions. All controls for reclining the seat and moving the screens about came via a control panel conveniently located to the left of your keyboard, right next to your dual cup holder and headphone stand. This was by far the coolest feature of the device, and it felt like I was climbing into the cockpit of a transformer. Everything was motorized, and I loved the one-click transformation feature. You push one button, the arm goes out, the keyboard table pops open, inviting the user to his awaiting greatness. The entire structure itself reclines to 140 degrees, giving you an almost floating sensation, and both the lazy boy style footrest and the foot pedestal were motorized, as well as the fold-out table, the whole surface of which is a giant mouse pad. I was pleasantly surprised with the control customization. You can get it to exactly the right angle or the right height that you want, both the chair and the screen cluster, making it a truly tailored experience.
And you can have it on just massage, so you're just sitting there maybe playing solitaire.
Oh, wow, my wife would like that.
With
Other than being a standard massage chair with 3 levels or 3 speeds of vibration, the seat also featured haptics, which is, you know, sort of a fancy way of saying interactive vibration. So every shot, every explosion, every crash pulsates your seat, thrusting you deeper into the immersion. The keyboard used was the Atheon 500 mechanical keyboard, but what surprised me most was the fact that this keyboard was metal, so it was extremely heavy, icy cold to the touch and feeling solid as a tank. I loved the giant volume knob on the side. It just gave the whole setup a more spaceship style look. All Link peripherals feature the Predator Sense RGB Link, which is a software that basically allows all of your Predator Link devices that support Predator Sense can be synchronized in unison. The Cestus 510 mouse, porting 16,000 dpi, also had a clever little trick. It had removable parts on its casing, so you can change the shape of your mouse to what you prefer. If you prefer a slim one or you prefer a fat one, this guy will cater to both your preferences. After some pre-flight instructions from Benny and a little more showing off of the seemingly endless features, like this simple yet brilliant cabin light, I opened up a racing game and gave it a bash. I'm told by the Asus folks that a controller or a wheel can be added. However, being a fan of shooters and not racing, I just wanted to get a sensation of the racing game, not actually play it. Everything I look at, hear, feel is suddenly a race car tearing down a track. Me, normally getting motion sickness from playing a normal racing game on my normal screen and my tiny PC at home, I realize my choice of a racer on a setup like this is probably not a good idea, and I bow out early.
Okay, so the racing game, I have to admit, it made me feel a little bit almost motion sickness. I felt nauseous by the fact that everything was moving right around me. So I'm used to having one screen in front of me, but the idea of having the wraparound sensation, you can see everything to the left and to the right of you, and that was a little bit overwhelming. So I'm going to try Apex Legends now, and hopefully that'll give me a little bit of a better feel.
After embarrassingly forgetting my Origin login and having someone borrow me their credentials, I fired up Apex Legends. Being a first-person shooter gamer, I felt like this would be a better choice. Even though I don't typically play Apex, I at least understood the mechanics of the game style.
Okay, so I'm the jump master. I'm going to suggest maybe like that. Oh, what? That is a strange sensation. God, look at this.
And I was absolutely blown away. Where a normal PC gives me a field of view that's right in front of me, with this rig I can now see to the left and to the right of me without having to move my mouse. Having this wraparound view almost felt like I was cheating. When running past a door opening or a corner, I would no longer need to turn to do a check. I'd simply have to look in that direction on the other monitor. The bass, with its almost 100% noise cancellation on the Gala 300 headset, combined with the freakishly wide viewing angle and the satisfying vibrations from when I fired my gun, was a different experience all on its own. And while my eyes hadn't adjusted to the screen size and I was playing on a keyboard and mouse that I was unfamiliar with, I had a blast. Even though I died way too often. It was a bittersweet experience for me knowing that I have a tool that can improve my game, while knowing my chance with the system was limited. Normally when I'm playing games at home, I'm doing just that. I'm playing games. On this thing, it felt like I was in the game. My stomach was in knots as I fought my way through the arena, the sights, the sounds, the vibrations, all tied together beautifully, transporting me to a battlefield and away from a room of 50 strangers that were pointing their cameras at me.
Of course, essentially it doesn't feel like I'm playing a game now. It feels like I'm physically jumping off a plane, falling, running through a building, sliding. This is what I'm physically feeling in terms of my sensation. I actually feel my body rocking with the game because I'm that into it.
Playing for well over 30 minutes, my cradled body barely felt like I sat down, and I realized that this isn't just a gaming throne. This thing could be great to watch movies on. I've always been the type of guy that puts on a Netflix movie, then completely ignores the movie while I browse Twitter on my phone. With this setup, I can put on a movie, I can browse Twitter, and I'd still have space to put up a YouTube fail compilation on another screen because I'm just incredibly unnecessary like that. After getting completely destroyed in every round of Apex, I release myself from the fighter jet and start poking questions at the Asus staff. These weren't staff working late. These were gamers that just happened to be working for a gaming brand. Their passion and their willingness was intoxicating, and I really admired them for that. After asking way too many questions and offering other guests my experts' advice, eating delicious food and talking to cameras, I had to go with some of the Predator laptops on display. One model in particular that I absolutely fell in love with was the Helios 500. Its sleek and slim design, yet freakishly powerful internals, was a welcome breath of fresh air from the bulky and almost crude-looking gaming laptops of today. This was a device that you could fully game on the go with, and it wouldn't need to be checked in as luggage or require a small nuclear reactor to run. I've never really considered Asus to be a gaming brand, to be honest. Yet experiencing this event, I realized that they are well in the fight of who's the best gaming brand, and with the Thronos, they've just brought a gun to a knife fight. Unfortunately, the room was getting a smidge loud and I was fanboying like a 14-year-old at a Justin Bieber concert, but I did have these final words to say.
They've got bunches of displays, laptops, they've got the Thronos chair behind me as well. Now, the Thronos chair is a gaming peripheral quite like no other peripheral I've ever seen. 3 27-inch monitors, curved monitors that wrap right around you. Motors lift this device in front of you, immersing you in the experience. It wraps around you. Everywhere you look, your entire peripheral view is consumed by monitors. So a very overwhelming experience. Once you put the headphones on, everything around you goes dead silent. In fact, the first time I put it on, I remember getting a shock because it physically cancelled out all of the noise you can hear now. The amount of movements and the amount of vibration and sounds, it was very overwhelming for my senses. I really felt like I was there. It's basically VR, except you're comfortable and relaxing. You can't really describe with words how I felt, but essentially every piece that you can physically see, everything that you can hear and everything that you can feel is the game. It's like I was telling somebody earlier, you don't buy a Ferrari because you want a fast car. You don't buy a Ferrari because you want a red car. You buy a Ferrari for its pedigree. You want that stallion badge. You want that experience, and that's what Acer is. The Acer Thronos is that experience. It's a pedigree all on its own. It's a consuming bragging right where you can show somebody and they can be like, holy crap, you have got the absolute pinnacle of gaming, and that's what it is. It is expensive, yes, but it is definitely a pedigree of its own.
I'll admit I was a little sad knowing that I had to go back to Cape Town and go back to a normal human PC, but unfortunately that's just how it goes. I'm at Lanseria Airport, and this airport is so tiny. Oh god, it's so funny. I think you can put this whole airport into my house. Comically small. This is the boarding area.
Remember, your mangoes might be good for you, but your greens are definitely always better.
Woo! The only regret that I have from this entire experience is not having more time on that machine. I felt that if I had gotten used to it and more comfortable on it and more used to the massive screen size, that I'd actually start improving my game. But what do you guys think of the Thronos? Do you think it's amazing? Do you think it's incredible? Do you think it's a little bit over the top? I personally thought it was fantastic. And one day when I'm Tony Stark, I will absolutely purchase one. I won't be able to give you guys the price because unfortunately there are a lot of variables that change the price, like your configuration, exchange rate, that type of thing. So if you guys are interested in the Acer Thronos, I'd highly recommend you contacting your local Acer distributor and asking them. A special shout out to my Patreons. You guys keep your eyes on your inbox. I'm going to be sending you a behind the scenes look of this entire event. So you'll see all the goods, all the bads, all the uglies. If you'd like to join the Patreon squad, stalk me on Twitter or follow my now awesomely partnered Discord. Please feel free to tickle all of my social links in the description. Thank you again for watching, and as always, Flak out.